Hello YouTube, welcome back to Charles Garage, and today we have the review of the Kaido House BMW M3 version. So basically, last week I reviewed a Mini GT car, and then Mini GT is also a brand name. They have a different company name, and in this company they have another line in which they do a collab with their own brand called Kaido House. Kaido House is basically more like a designer's car, if you ask me, the way how I understood it, but a little more pricey because obviously there's more design put into it rather than just using the original car. But imagine that you gave a designer a specific car and then he basically applied his kind of taste onto the car. So yeah, so Kaido House, they've been around for a while and they've been making some really cool cars as well and cool designs. So these are one of their latest one, which is the BMW M3, and it's actually called BMW M3 Kaido Works V1 or version 1. So that's my guess. So just to give you guys a perspective, here is the box of the Mini GT of a typical Mini GT car, and you can see it's a little bit more on the bigger side, and then the way how it opens, it also opens like a sliding type box where you can open up the top and it reveals the car inside. So yeah. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So as far as I know, usually Kaido House, like up until this point, they always worked with Japanese cars. It's either a Datsun or a Nissan Skyline variant most of the time. So yeah, so I think this is their first time actually doing a BMW, so a European car. So let's see how they did stuff going on here. Now I know like amongst the community, like the BMW, specifically M3 is like a very popular variant or version of the BMW lineup. So maybe that's why they chose this to do this. So let's see what we got. So from the front, obviously this is it's also on one of the hobby lineup stuff. So this is gonna cost you like maybe up to like roughly $20, I think, depending on where you get it, or even more. So looking at the front, you can see everything is like part separated. The headlights are part separated, and you can see more details going on here, even like small decals applied as well. And then obviously on the front, you can see the windshield wiper on the middle. Now I know there are some people who prefer not to have these on the middle, or maybe just, you know, on the bottom, but yeah, sometimes they do this, even in Hot Wheels. And then they even have the Kaido House logo there, or decal, and you can see like small logos like Mini GT as well, and then they did a really good job with the wheels, definitely looking very beautiful here. Although I do see a little bit of misalignment here on the wheel cover here, but I'm not too picky on that part, so I'm fine. The door does not open, but you can see on the inside, you can see the inside interior, the wheel, and then the roll cage going on here. So everything's been very well done. And you can see the inside, the rims, you can see the rim itself is more on the inside. I'm not sure. I'm really curious how they do this, unless they use like a really wide wheel or rim. But yeah, I've always wondered like how they get this effect on how the middle part goes inwards that much. And then looking at the back here, once again, everything is like part separated, even the backlights, the tailpipe, everything, even the spoiler. Now definitely in any die-cast car, especially in the hobby grade, you want to be careful with the spoiler, because keep in mind they're always lifted up a little bit so you can see that gap. But depending on the brand or product, if you push this down with a certain strength, it'll either bend or break. So do be careful on that. So this is why this is not a toy for kids. This is a collector's item for more adults. So keep that in mind. And looking at the bottom here, this is what they always do with their Kaido House stuff. That you can see like this beautiful, like, not only their logo, but this metal. I'm not sure what they call this, but as far as I know, you get this effect by applying electricity to a specific type of metal. So yeah, definitely beautiful thing. Now they have this space here, this hole here. I'm not sure what it's for. Now I have a guess, but at the same time, this car or this product doesn't really suffer from that issue. So I'm not sure why they had that there, unless it's like a standard thing. And on the other side, it's pretty much the same. So yeah. So if there's one more gimmick, so Mini GT cars do not have any gimmicks. There's no opening gimmicks. There's no like trunk or door opening gimmicks. Now, Kaido House stuff, they always put a opening gimmick, at least as far as I know, on regarding the engine / motor part. So if the engine is on the back, then obviously they'll try to make the back open. If it's on the front, they'll make it open. So in this case, you can open up the front part and reveal the engines, and look at that detail. It's not like the same detail as Matchbox with the way how they just slap on a flat surface they apply decals. No, that's not it. If you look closely, if you look closely, everything is like part separated. So there's a lot of separate parts going on here to make that engine look detailed. So they did an excellent job. And the reason why I mentioned this is that this hole is usually for if you're having trouble to getting the hood open. You can have like a small stick, or yeah, basically a small stick, and then you can push it inwards to push this thing upwards. But in this case, it's not really that trouble to get this thing open. So yeah. So excellent job going on here. So definitely deserve some respect here. Now once again, I do enjoy diecast cars in general, and if I had to still choose, Hot Wheels would be my main brand, but I'm not the type of person where Hot Wheels is like the #1 thing, it's best at everything. I respect the brand because of their, there's a lot of fun cars, there's a lot of history on that, and they also, each brand has their pluses and minuses, so keep that in mind. Even Hot Wheels has their flaws. So here is not the best example, but the only M3 premium that I could find in my collection for now is this old car culture version. The really old school modern classic version was the M3, which at the time they did not apply any of these decals going on here. So yeah, looking at the base, obviously the front, while it does look similar, but obviously other than the detail level, you can see it did try to retain its classic design, but was a little bit modern, extra changes. And looking at the side, obviously the wheels are very new. So the body frame, I think they didn't give too much of crazy changes here. Of course, like being a Japanese body conversion thing, they might have done something as well. But once again, you can still see, while you can definitely still say it's a radical design, but still you can tell that this is a BMW M3. So I think they did a really good job to give that extra touch, but still keeping the old school main design aspects that makes it an M3. Anyway, so that is pretty much it for this review. So this was a review of the Kaido House and BGT collab version, basically Kaido House BMW M3 Kaido Works version 1. I'm kind of curious what else like European cars they're working on, because so far they've done Skylines, Datsuns, Honda Civics, so Acura NSX. So kind of curious how this goes. So anyway, thanks for watching the review. If you guys have any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and maybe reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.